Welcome to Crusader Kings II. In the game, you play as any medieval ruler at any point in time, from a lowly count to a great emperor. When your character dies, you will need an heir to take over, and so on, down the ages. Unlike most other games, the starting situation is historical, and thus completely unbalanced. Check the estimated difficulty of a ruler before you start playing. So I'm going to do a custom game setup, because I was told Ireland is pretty much Noob Island. So pick a spot in Ireland and basically just focus on playing Ireland. So I'm going to get my Irish history in. And the goal is that by the time we reach the end of the Crusader Kings timeline, we have a united Ireland. Knowing my luck, we will have a united Ireland, but it's not going to be under me because I'm going to fail. Looks like O'Brien is probably the easiest choice here. King Murktad of Mermu. So yeah, we're gonna go with Brian. I don't know. But you can see here just how broken down England is into all of its little counties. So you could play a count and just spend all of your time dealing with inter-English politics and completely ignore the Crusades. Paradox strategy games do tend to be on the simulation end of things. Civilization, for example, which is most people's introduction to 4X strategy. Civilization is aimed to be balanced. For the most part, each ruler is playing the same game. Everyone has access to the same units, the same tech tree, the same resources. And then each ruler has its own little tweaks. So that instead of having this normal unit, you have this slightly upgraded unit. Or this unit whose mechanics are changed. Here, because I'm playing an Irish leader, I have to stick with the Celtic cultural items. And I don't have any of the expansions that take advantage of it. But I can't start producing the sort of units that the Byzantine Empire or even the Seljuk or Atef might be using. That's just completely outside of my realm. So anyway, ruler is unmarried. I do have a child, must be illegitimate. So actually, one thing I could do, instead of finding a wife and getting a legitimate heir, is change the law so that my illegitimate child is legitimate. Legitimize it by changing the law. But that's going to be a bit more complicated. So let's take a look at... Somewhere around here, there's something that'll actually help me figure out... How important is it? He is listed as an heir. So I think that's fine. He should be able to inherit the throne. I'm the only listed parent, which does concern me, but maybe it's just a historical we don't know. Okay, so if I go to my court, my council, my son is actually the marshal. An unmarried heir, so I should focus on getting him a wife. Arrange a marriage. Let's arrange a marriage for him. That's the button I was looking for. So he's actually not a big fan of me. My own son. Half of this is just going to be fighting the interface to figure out where everything is. German, Occitan, Norman, Indulgent Wastrel, Intricate Web Weaver, Master Manipulator. Let's see if we can arrange this. She's only a courtier, which is going to hurt the... what is it? The prestige of my son, but that isn't really a concern when I'm trying to get the line. And most of these are courtiers anyway. So we're gonna see if Ermengarde of Auxerre, we're gonna see if they're willing to hook up with my son. proposed that Brian and Ermengarde get married. As relative of a king, Brian would gain 4 prestige from marrying into House the Bachman, and 0 from marrying the relative of a count. So I have a claim to the county of Desmond, which is currently being held by somebody who has no loyalties. The Earl of Desmond is his own thing. I have no influence over him. I could say, hey, I have some claim to that land, and conquer it. And that's probably going to be my first one I go for. Idle council members. We are going to have our Chancellor. We're going to have him sow dissent in Desmond to weaken them. We're going to have our son train troops. The Steward. Collect taxes. The Spy Master. He's going to build a spy network. We're going to spread vicious rumors and discover corruption in Desmond. So for now, we're just kind of waiting to see what's the response to my marriage request. They're getting married. So I can gain prestige here. We can collect a royal aid duty to pay for the ceremonies. So we can either collect gold from my vassals to pay for the wedding, or I can leave them alone and gain prestige. And given that people don't seem to like me, I'm going to go for the prestige. To the great King Munkard, may you live in harmony and contentment. I accept your suggestion that Brian and Ermengarde get married. So, that is taken care of. Oh, here, another day has passed, and I've collected a special tithe thanks to the work of my steward. These are the members of my court. They are largely not happy with me. I may actually want to try and figure out who might be plotting against me, and then grant them a special title to say, hey, I'm not that bad a leader. So let's look at Desmond again. Can we plot to kill the Earl? But he has enough children that his heir is just going to take over, and then the heir's brothers will just take over in succession. So a direct plot probably isn't great. Religious imprisonment. You can imprison subjects without incurring tyranny. Note that an empowered council might still object. Earl Ragnvald of Ormond. Why? Technology +6. Foreigner -9. Liege is slothful, craven, and stubborn. So it's more of an issue with me than anything else. Why is it saying that I can do it? What did he do? Righteous imprisonment. For what? What did he do? Known plots. Ragnvald of Ormond. Fabricate a claim. Rally support among the other vassals of the King of Munchad of Munster and attempt to fabricate a claim on the petty kingdom of Munster. God willing, you may someday become their new liege. So he's actually trying to fabricate a claim. So he wants to be king. That's what it is. Okay, I'm figuring this out. It's just taking, forever. Short reign is slowly dropping, so that's not going to be a huge problem. And it's mostly a matter of making sure that the king is properly replaced by Brian Munchad. Chaste, ambitious, and is a scholarly and bookish disposition, and yet he's in charge of my military. Zealous, cannot tolerate heretics, infidels, or heathens, Tough soldier. He's pretty good at military, but he's not good at as a leader there. Okay. He's actually fairly well-rounded. He's not a big fan of his own father. So basically, I need to get Murkad of Munster off the throne so Brian can take over. Oh dear. Divided among children. Oh, my king! The more I study the Waldensian religion, the more I feel compelled to embrace it and show you the wisdom that lies in these texts. I have sent you excerpts from the most interesting parts. I urge you to follow my example and embrace the Waldensian religion. Your court chaplain. He's a Catholic heretic. Wow. When did that happen? Originally a reform movement within the Catholic Church, Waldensian heretics are anti-clerical. My cleric's the only person I know with it. And advocate a return to vows of poverty. They are opposed to capital punishment and believe that laymen can also administer the sacrament. This heresy has no formal head and no special game mechanics. Court chaplain. Here's the bishop. He's still Catholic. His heir, however, is a Catholic heretic. I'm trying to get a better idea of how much support this has in my kingdom, because I'm thinking that's not a good idea. On a political level, that's not a very good idea. The view shows you but holdings and allows its owners to build various improvements. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Lurkst. This is just weird. But that's also one of the things I like about this game, is I'd never heard of this particular heretical faction before. And now I know, hey, this is an actual historic thing. This isn't something made up. This isn't the heretics of Warhammer 40k. This is a real-life historical thing. But the rest of my vassals are all still proper Catholic. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with no. We're gonna arrest him. I have imprisoned him. But I have an open council position. So let's pause this. And I need to find somebody capable of doing this. I ideally want somebody who is... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, well, congratulations, Bishop. You're also on my council. Let's have you proselytizing to avoid further heathens, further heretics. He's going to come back to me in 2 years' time and tell me, hey, you know that guy you arrested? I actually like this idea.